Jaguars have a head coach vacancy, and the Jaguars are out interviewing different people. In this video, we're going to go ahead and go through the list of candidates that the Jaguars have interviewed. We're actually going to start with who is my favorite person to just kind of go through the rest. But real quick, shout out to BetUS. Did you guys know BetUS actually does have a casino over there? You know, now that the Jag season is over, if you guys are looking for some more interesting stuff, man, they have a sign-up bonus up to $5,000 and a 250% crypto sign-up bonus to $5,000. So definitely check out BetUS if you guys want to take advantage of their casino that they got going on over there. So Jaguars coaching candidates. Now I'm going to start with who I want. Ben Johnson is the guy that I want, man. And look, Ben Johnson doesn't really need much of an introduction. He's been around the coaching cycle for a lot of years now. What's it been like? 2 or 3 years. I mean, he's been kind of the hot shot coordinator and really just the type of person that a lot of teams are wanting to hire, kind of the young offensive guru. So, you know, with him, 38 years old, his coaching history, he was at Boston College from 2009 to 2011, and then he went to the Dolphins from 2012 through 2018, and then went to Detroit in 2019 and has been there ever since. Started off as an offensive quality control coach, then moved up to a tight ends coach, then passing game coordinator, and then offensive coordinator. So he's been the offensive coordinator ever since the year 2022. And I really like their offense, man. It's extremely innovative, and it's just very well tuned. I mean, when you watch their games, they just, you know, they don't have a lot of penalties. Everybody kind of knows their assignment. Everybody plays hard, and the offense just, you know, they're very creative. You know, they know when to pass the ball, they know when to run it, they know when to play action, and of course, they have a lot of really good players. That might be potentially one of the downsides. I know, you know, a lot of people, you know, when you're looking at these coaching candidates to say, oh, but he has this, this, and this guy. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, Amon St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, they have the tremendous offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. But I'm not going to take that away from him, you know, at all. And look, the Jaguars interviewed him on Saturday. He was the final of 4 interviews that he had, and hopefully things went well. Of course, right now you have this really, really dumb rumor mill that's going on around social media where just these national guys, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. I mean, there was a report like today or yesterday from Albert Breer that, hey, you know, Shad Khan will move on from Trent Baalke if the right guy comes about. Yeah, he said that a week ago, okay? There's nothing riveting with that one. So I'm kind of shutting my ears to all the rumors, and, you know, I'm just going to see what happens when something gets done. So, you know, with him, we'll see. Like one rumor is that, you know, Shad Khan wants him, but, you know, maybe Baalke doesn't want him. So if Baalke doesn't want him, I don't know who wins that power struggle. You know, that's kind of the rumor out there. So, you know, and I think the main thing that attracts me about him is that just his work with Jared Goff. I mean, Jared Goff was basically thrown in the trash when he got over there. I mean, you know, in that trade that went on, you know, it was a Matt Stafford for Jared Goff, but the Detroit Lions also received 2 first-round picks in the process, and, you know, he's been nothing but tremendous for them. He's been playing really, really high-caliber football. They are not looking at a quarterback whatsoever anymore because Jared Goff has solidified himself as that guy. And, you know, I think Trevor Lawrence, a comp for him might be Jared Goff, you know, in the way they're both, you know, giraffe-looking figures and just, you know, the way also, you know, Jared Goff, his career almost looked like it was dead. I know Trevor Lawrence's career may not look like it's dead, but it feels like right now the Jaguars organization is failing him a little bit, and the Jaguars have invested a lot of money in him. So I think this hire really is about getting the right guy to, you know, lead Trevor Lawrence down the stretch. So that is what really, really attracts me to Ben Johnson. Now, next up, Liam Cohen. He's the Bucs offensive coordinator. You know, he's a guy that's 39 years old. He has last 4 years he's spent as offensive coordinator. 1 year at Kentucky, then to the Rams, then another year at Kentucky, and then now over to the Bucs. And, you know, he's best known for revitalizing both Baker Mayfield and making Will Levis look like a good quarterback over there for Kentucky. He plays in a quarterback-friendly scheme, which is what really has allowed Baker Mayfield to really flourish. But I will say a lot of Jaguar fans, they're having him as like their number one guy. Like, oh, I want Liam Cohen. He's my guy. But one thing that really concerns me about Liam Cohen is the fact that the Jaguars are the only team to interview him. Now, Granted, a lot of people are, when I kind of posed this question on Twitter, a lot of people brought up the fact that Kevin O'Connell was not interviewed by anybody the except for the Vikings. But I thought, didn't the Jags interview him? Apparently, the Jaguars had requested to interview him, but they requested it too late in the process, and they weren't able to actually talk with him. But yeah, the only team he actually officially interviewed with was the Minnesota Vikings. But one thing that's going for him is that apparently he's down to work with Trent Baalke, which obviously is a huge plus for Shad Khan, because Shad Khan does not want. I don't know what Shad Khan wants. I don't even want to put myself in his head, because the guy is so unpredictable. But one thing that does give me a little bit of pause is that, look, he's been the Bucs offensive coordinator for 1 year, and it's been a really good year. But one thing about Ben Johnson is that you've had a few years of success. I'm a little bit scared, and the main reason why I'm scared about getting a guy who's only really done it for 1 year is that I look at Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. He was a hotshot candidate for a year. He got head coaching interviews, and he was probably pretty close to potentially getting a spot. And now you look at him, and he's moved the Texans offense completely backward. So is Liam Cohen really ready for a head coaching job? I don't know, but those are some reasons that give me pause. I do like Liam Cohen. You can definitely talk me into Liam Cohen, but for me right now, we've all known this whole entire offseason that Ben Johnson is that dude. And then now that we're starting to interview guys, I feel like almost Ben Johnson is being pushed aside, and now Liam Cohen is being pushed ahead of him. I'm like, wait, let's not overthink this one here. This is like, reminds me of when we had Aiden Hutchinson going number 1 overall, and then all of a sudden everyone talked us into Trayvon Walker up next, and we kind of accepted it. But we'll see. We don't even know if Ben Johnson wants to be here. The reports are that he wants to be here, but won't work with Baalke. And I can't imagine, like, if that is stopping them from hiring him, it would just be super ridiculous. And the fact that apparently Trent Baalke might step back into a different role, just weird. Weird, man. Weird. No really other words to describe that one. So next up, Kellen Moore, 36 years old. He's been a name that's been in the head coaching cycle for some time. Former quarterback at Boise State. He spent some time in Dallas as the offensive coordinator. He spent a year or two for the LA Chargers, and now he is with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I actually do like Kellen Moore. I think he runs pretty good offenses, and I just think he's a good schematic guy. I think the main thing that's holding him back is, like, I don't know if he truly is, like, leader of men. Like, when you kind of look at him, looks a little bit dopey, and I know that's probably kind of bad, potentially bad analysis. But I'll say this, look, a lot of the NFL and a lot of interviews, like, if you ever interview for someone for a job, you have a first impression. First impressions are so big. And I don't know, I just get this impression of Kellen Moore that I'm not sure if he truly is a guy that is a rah-rah guy. Will he really rally the troops? Can he speak in front of, 90 men during training camp and 53 men and all the all the assistant coaches and everything? Is he the guy that does that, or is he more of just the X's and O's nerd that knows how to run an offense, sits there with the playbook, knows different analytics and stuff like that? I don't know. That's just, we'll see. He's been in the head coach interview room, I feel like, for a while, just never had the opportunity. But maybe now that he's got some more experience, maybe he's a guy that could potentially step into that role. Now, next up, Todd Monken, 59 years old. He'll be 59 years old, I should say, in February. He's had tons of offensive coordinator jobs. The only head coach job he's had is that he coached at Southern Miss for about 3 years. He's most recently had a lot of success for the University of Georgia and the Baltimore Ravens. And, he's another guy that's been in the head coaching cycle before. And with Todd Monken, I like the offense that he runs, but typically when head coaching hirings aren't working for your team, you want to do something where you're moving in a different direction. And, the last 2 legitimate head coaching hires that we've had, I'm not going to include Urban Meyer in here, but it's been Doug Marrone and Doug Peterson, 2 older offensive guys. So I don't think that they're going to go in the direction of another old offensive guy. You know what I mean? So with that said, I like Todd Monken, but I'm not sure if he's the best for the Jags role. Okay, so I'll kind of leave it at that. But like I said, he's been doing a really good job for the Ravens, and with having Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in there and whatnot. So next up, Joe Brady. He's 35 years old. He was actually fired by the Panthers in 2021, but ever since he was hired to replace Ken Dorsey in 2023, it felt like the Bills' offense really took a step forward. And, he helped turn around the offense. I mean, immediately the success happened when he kind of came in there, took over. Now, I don't know if I want him, mainly just because nothing against him, but I think I like Ben Johnson more, and I think I like Liam Cohen more if you actually are going a young, offensive-minded route. There's just something about him that it's because his success has pretty much come from coaching a Josh Allen, and man, like that's a really, really successful dude and a successful team, and now they finally have like a running game, and maybe that's attributed to him, but I'm not sure the if the Jaguars job, with especially with a guy like Ben Johnson out there, if you should hire a guy like this, because if like I said, if you're going young offensive guy, I just don't settle for anything less than the best, and Ben Johnson would be that dude. So the next one is definitely something that intrigues me, and that's Aaron Glenn. He's a former player, actually played for the Jaguars in 2007. He's actually a former scout as well. He was a Jet scout in 2012 to 2013, and now he's been coaching ever since 2014, and he's been a Lions defensive coordinator since 2021. And what's funny is this could actually turn out to be the best head coach candidate out there. And the thing that kind of has me hesitant about this is I think there are certain teams that he'd be great for. Like, I think he'd be a great guy to come in there for the Jets, or, maybe even the Saints, or maybe even, heck, the Bears. But, right now, I feel like the Jaguars need to go in a direction where you need to bring in the best offensive mind. Because if you hire Aaron Glenn, all of a sudden you're accepting the fact that you are not going to get the brightest offensive mind in the building. That's just what it is. So, and I'm all about, hey, we have this quarterback who we have not gotten the most out of. You've seen this year's success from Sam Darnold, who left the trash New York Jets, and now he's doing great things with a good franchise like the Minnesota Vikings. You've seen Baker Mayfield leave the trash Cleveland Browns, and now he's over there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing great things. You saw the same out of Geno Smith. We could all see Trevor Lawrence going somewhere else and doing crazy things with another team and saying, oh, well, the Jacksonville Jaguars are just a dumpster fire. Let's not reach that point, okay? Let's not reach that point. Let's bring in a great offensive mind. That's why I think that this job right here, the Jaguars need that specific person. And, Aaron Glenn, I think, is going to be a great head coach for a team. I just don't know if right now the Jaguars should be that team. That's just kind of my opinion on the matter. But I do think that he'll be a great head coach. Some other guys I'll go through real quick. Patrick Graham, defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't see Jaguars doing that one. Also, Robert Saleh interviewed for the Jaguars too. And Robert Saleh seems to be picking up a little bit of steam, and Jaguar fans on Twitter kind of accepting it. No, guys, this would be the ultimate cope. You guys cannot tell me that a month ago, if you told me that the Jaguars were going to hire Robert Saleh as a head coach, you guys would be happy. And then now people are starting to get a little more code, be like, oh, well, he was done wrong by the Jets. This isn't that. No, do not bring Robert Saleh in here. Now, defense coordinator, hell yeah, I'm definitely down for that. But as head coach, heck to the no. And I don't think the Jaguars, look, Shad Khan is dumb, but I don't think he's dumb enough to bring in Robert Saleh here. Finally, Jaguars interviewed Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. He's been doing really, really good things with the KC Chiefs, but he's another guy, a defensive guy. He's a little bit older, just not sure if the Jaguars are the right fit. Like I said, I think the Jaguars need to go after a young we need to finally be that team that gets a young offensive-minded coach. And, whether that be, some of my top candidates, like I said, love Ben Johnson, and I like Liam Cohen, and I like a Kellen Moore. Those are some of the guys that I really look for. So, with that said, let me know your thoughts. Who do you guys want to be the Jaguars' next head coach? And, look, we got a lot to come up this offseason, and it's really, really scary because right now Shad Khan is kind of steering the ship, and we just have to hope that Shad Khan gets lucky and gets it right, okay? Because we know Shad Khan doesn't know what he's doing, so we just hope that he lucks into the right candidate. And don't think too hard. Hire Ben Johnson, and let's make the Jaguars great. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Shout out to BetUS. Definitely be sure to check out their casino. And with all that said, I'll see you guys next video. Go Jags.